Navigation Nowhere, and this is my converted school bus home. It's funny, the day that I moved into the bus, I laid in that back couch back there in my parents' driveway, and it was kind of like, a feeling of like, what am I doing? I live in a school bus. Like, is this even a good idea? And then the other feeling of like, just what could possibly be ahead of me and like where I could go to next. It's gotten more normal over the years. This bus was a yellow school bus with seats. I kind of just started ripping it apart. I gutted it down to exterior sheet metal and started to figure it out from there. I wanted to see what I could do in terms of just design and skills I could learn. And so this was really my first opportunity to kind of figure out what I wanted in a space and design from there. So from there, I started to insulate, build it back with wood, and kind of just start putting couches and cabinets and things as I went along. When I first started on the road, it was all about kind of pushing miles and getting the most amount of national parks off my list and hit the most amount of states I could and just kind of build this resume almost of traveling to almost impress myself. And after traveling for a year or two, I started to realize that the locations weren't really what mattered. And it was more about the community and the people that I met in every single location that I was at. I was in Washington and I was with a friend, and that friend invited me to go to this random, I think it was a church gathering or something, and I ended up going, and from there I ended up at the pastor's house the next day, and from there he ended up giving me all these awesome locations down the Washington coast. Some of my really cool memories on the West Coast are those locations that I would have never known if I didn't say yes to an opportunity that someone was just trying to offer hospitality to. If you look at the kitchen, it's oversized, I would say, for most people's buses. But the reason was because I built this bus to have people, to be available to say yes to people coming over. Because I wanted to be able to cook for people. I wanted to be able to provide that hospitality to people, even though I live on the road. But those two couches actually fold out into one big bed, or it could be a half a bed. So with that, I can have a lot of guests over. I've had all my family members, they've slept on this bus and lived with me for a time. Most of my friends from childhood have come, random people I've met from the road have come, so it's kind of an entertaining space, and I designed that on purpose. Money was a huge issue when I first started, not because I was really worried about it, but more because I didn't exactly have a plan. But going on the road, I kind of just wanted to see where I ended up. And at this point, I've actually now developed kind of a niche market within kind of social media and building, and I actually now help people build these for a living. And I film the entire process, and then I'll soon be uploading that onto YouTube for people to then learn how to possibly do it themselves and try to help other people get out on the road and be able to travel.
Today we are going to be talking about solar panels and how to mount them.
Just enough schedule that keeps me kind of grounded, but enough openness where I can say yes to opportunities that come my way. I haven't had really any issues over the last 3.5 years. I camp off-grid in national forest lands, BLM lands, and those roads are not really made for a school bus, so I'm typically rubbing this bus up against bushes and trees and trying to get into a backcountry spot. So, it's just a matter, I think, of where you'd want to go, which is kind of the fun of the lifestyle. You can go where you want. I think the fun thing about building buses and tiny homes and vans is that you're left with a blank slate and you can do anything with it. So you have the complete ability to dream up anything you want and kind of put it into that vehicle that then becomes your home. And I think that's the most fun part about this. I like to say this bus is my way of settling down. It's my space, it's 190 square feet, and it's everything I own. So for me, this was kind of the white picket fence that I was looking for, and that's kind of what it's been for the last 3.5 years. I'm Michael from Navigation Nowhere, and there's no place like home.